Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I have 3 Dollar Tree Valentine's DIYs for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you step by step how to make each of these beautiful Valentine's DIYs. Let's go ahead and get started. To get started on our first craft, you're going to need some wood letters, and you want to spell out the word love, and then you'll also need XOXO. So you want those. Then you're going to want to paint those red. I'm going to be using the Apple Barrel Cardinal Crimson. I really like this color red. It is a true red and it has a blue base. Go through and get a good 1 or 2 coats onto your letters until you get the color tone that you want. Make sure to get all the little edges on your letters. I have all of my letters painted, and while they're drying, we're going to move on. You're also going to need 4 of the little wood blocks that you can get in the Crafter Square section. These are 2.5 inch in diameter. If you're unable to find the wood blocks over in the toy section, they also have foam dice that are about the same size. You can use those. What you'll need to do if you're going to use the foam dice is you want to go over it with a coat of Mod Podge and let it fully dry before you paint it. That will help the paint to stick, and it'll also help it not crack after it dries. But today I'm going to be using the wood blocks. You'll need 4. And I'm going to give them a base coat of white paint. It'll take 1 to 2 coats depending on what paint that you use. Go ahead and get 1 to 2 good coats of white paint onto your 4 blocks. Let them dry, and then when we come back, we'll add some distressing to the blocks. All my letters are dry and so are my blocks, so I'm now going in and adding some distressing. And that's really easy. I'm just using some Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel and some khaki. You just need a very small amount. And on my blocks, I did not paint the bottom. So you just need a rough brush, something where the bristles are kind of messed up, makes it better. Dab in, then dab off any excess. You want to go in the same direction and then just lightly go over your blocks. So on the sides, you want to make sure that you're going in the same direction all the way around so that it looks cohesive. And you start with the lighter color, the khaki. Just go through and add in as much or as little as you like. Once the sides are done, I set it down and then I go through and do the top. And don't worry, if you get too much on and you don't like it, very simple. Just take the same white that you did the base on, put a little bit out, dab into that, take off any excess, and then go over it. That will help lighten up anything that you got too dark. Once you have your light color on, then you can go back in with the Burnt Umber and go over it the same way. And I just go quickly to get my color on there and not too much. And then the last is the top. Okay, once you get your distressing done, go ahead and let those dry, and then we will move forward. Everything is nice and dry. Go ahead and line up your 4 blocks. Then you want to turn them to the side. So the bottom is here. And now we're going to go ahead and start to glue on our little letters here. And on this side, I'm going to spell love. How I'm going to glue these down is a mixture of the super glue, wood glue, and hot glue. And I'm just going to eye them. I'm just going to put a small amount, a little dab here and there, and then the same with the hot glue. You know, the hot glue will give you that instant hold, and then the wood glue will give you that long-term hold. And then just eye it and place your letters. I have my love glued on this side. Now you want to keep it just like that. You want to take it and flip it over. And then on the back, we're going to do XOXO. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. I have everything attached. I have love on this side. And on the back side, I have XOXO. Now this is really nice. You can put it on a counter. You can put it on a mantle. You can put it on a side table. On your kitchen island, you can spread them out. You can stack them. So you can arrange them in whichever way you want to display them, and then you can always change it up. Do love one year and then the XOXO the next year. But I thought that was such a fun and easy craft, something perfect for Valentine's Day. To get started on our next project, you're going to need one of these DIY craft kits that you can get from Dollar Tree. They have a couple different ones to choose from. They have a wood cutout, and then they also have a bunch of sequins and little rhinestones and some ribbon. This one says love. They also have this one that's the little truck. It has some hearts and it says the word love. The one that I'm going to use today is this one that is XOXO. And I'm pretty much just going to be using the wood cutout, so I'm going to save the other goodies in there for another project. But you can use whichever one that you like or whichever one you can find. So I want to get a good coat of paint on this, and I'm going to do a gold color, and I'm using the Folk Art Metallic Pure Gold. Now, depending on what paint you use, you can use spray paint or you can use regular paint, whichever works best for you. You'll need to put 1 to 2 coats on, depending on the paint. I got 2 coats of gold onto my XOXO, and then I decided to also paint one of these small heart DIY stickers gold as well. So I'm going to let these dry, and while they dry, we're going to go ahead and move forward. You'll also need a wood cutout of the heart. You can get this in the regular craft section at Dollar Tree. And then you'll also need a piece of decorative paper. You can choose whichever you like. I like this one. I pulled it out of one of the old paper books that I have that I picked up at Michael's. You can get decorative paper at Michael's or at Hobby Lobby, usually for $1 or less per sheet. Sometimes you can get 4 for $1. Turn it over, lay your heart down, trace it out, and then go ahead and cut it out. There you go. And just double check and make sure that it's going to fit over your piece of wood. If it's not absolutely perfect, that's okay. We can fix it after we get it glued down just by sanding around the edge. That'll give it a really nice clean edge. Now to attach this to the wood, you can use several different types of glue. You can use Mod Podge, you can use Elmer's glue, you can use a glue stick. Today I'm going to use Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. And then I just use a paintbrush to get that to spread. Okay, once you get it nice and evenly distributed, you want to make sure that you get it all the way around those edges so that you get a good adhesion. Then just go over it, make sure that you don't have any air bubbles or anything like that. And there you go. Now that my paper's on, I'm going to go around the edges here and clean it up. You just need some sandpaper, and you want to go down and away. This will remove any excess paper that you have. See, it'll take off any excess paper. And this paper is pretty thick, so just going down like this usually doesn't get it all off. Once you get it down, then I just kind of rub back and forth around the edge, and that'll take care of the rest. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my edges, and then we'll move forward. I got all my edges sanded down. I have a nice clean finish, so I'm ready to move forward. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue my XOXO onto the top here. I want it down just a little bit. I don't want it perfectly centered because I'm going to be putting a bow up here. So about there. And to attach it, I'm going to use a combination of the Aleene's Original Tacky Glue and hot glue. And there you go. Now we're going to work on the bow, and I pulled this really pretty satin gold ribbon out. I picked it up in the floral garden section. It is 3 yards by 5/8 of an inch. I want to make a bow to go right up here at the top. So decide how big you want your loops. So it looks like I'm going to do about a 3-inch loop. And just fold it over itself like that. Okay, once you got your first 2 loops, go ahead and trim. Flip it so it stays where I need it. And then I'm going to do 2 more loops that are slightly smaller. And you put one on top of the other. So the one on top should be slightly smaller than the one on the bottom. You're going to want to cut another piece of ribbon, approximately 8 inches for the tails. Place that on the bottom in the back. Make sure it's in the center. And take your pipe cleaner, put it in the center here. Pull it to the back. And then put it on your table and push down so it's flat where the pipe cleaner is. You can pull down your tails. Separate your loops. Pull the smaller one up and the larger one down. Just a little bit. Okay, and then go ahead and trim your tails. On the smaller ribbon, I prefer just to cut it at an angle, but if you want to dovetail them, go right ahead, whichever you prefer. Once you have your bow together, you can go ahead and place it. I'm going to place mine right here at the top, and I'm just going to hot glue it down. And then I'm going to take my little gold heart DIY sticker that I painted, and I'm going to put that right in the center. And there you go. Doesn't that look adorable? Now you can use this on a wreath, or you can use this as a wall decor. I'm going to be using it as wall decor. So I'm going to go ahead and add some jute cord to the back here. And there you go. Quick and easy wall decor for Valentine's Day. For our next Valentine's DIY, you're going to need a package of the Color Your Own ornaments. They have several different ones to choose from. This is the one that I chose. I think it is absolutely adorable. Very, very pretty. To paint these, you're going to need white. I'm going to be using the Apple Barrel White, and you'll also need a red. I'm going to be using the Folk Art Lipstick Red. Now I went ahead and put some out here on my palette. You'll want to paint your hearts here in the middle first. We're going to paint those red. And they may look difficult to paint, but they're not. The only place that you need to be careful is where they meet the outside heart. I'll show you here as I paint. But just get a good coat with this lipstick red. One coat is insufficient. It gives me a nice good coat. But like here where the heart meets, the small heart meets the outside heart, that's just where you need to be careful. And don't worry, if you mess up a little bit with the red paint, that's okay. Because when the red paint is dry, we're going to go back and paint around the outside. And at that time, if you made any kind of a little mess, we can clean that up. No biggie. That's one good thing about paint. It's very forgiving. You mess up, just let it dry, paint over it, and start again. Once you get your red hearts there in the center painted, go ahead and set it aside. You want to let that dry before you move to the next step. Once your red hearts are dry, then you can go ahead with your white paint and paint around the outside. This is where if you made any kind of a little boo-boo, you can fix it up. Again, you just need to be cautious where the two meet. Of course, you can use any color combination you would like. If you want to do pink instead of white, you can do that. If you want to keep it a little bit more neutral, you could always paint maybe the hearts white and then use like a brown stain around the outside. That would be really pretty if you like farmhouse. So you can customize this with your paint however you like to fit your home. And there you go. Doesn't that look adorable? I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my little hearts painted. This package came with 8, but I'm only going to be using 5. All of my hearts are painted and dried. I did decide to go ahead and paint 6 small of the DIY stickers. They come in a package like this, and I used the small blank hearts. I had 6 of them, plus a couple more. I just painted them the same red color as I did on the ornaments. The ornaments do come with twine to hang it. Just want to tie a knot and tie the string to the center. Just like that. This is what we're going to use to attach it to the main cord for the garland. Okay, these are done and ready to go. You can go ahead and set these aside. You will need 3 ribbons for Valentine's Day, whichever 3 you like. These are the 3 that I chose. I picked up all of these from Dollar Tree. These are all 5/8 of an inch by 3 yards. You'll want to cut each of your pieces at 12 inches, and you'll need 1 of each. And then you'll also need 2 small pieces of jute cord and 1 of the red hearts, the little red heart DIY stickers. Now you can layer your ribbons however you'd like. Just place one on top of the other, and then you want to bring the ends, all the ends together, so that you can find the center. Here at the center, take one of the small jute cords and tie it off. Okay, you want to leave those ends. That's what you're going to use to tie it on to the garland. In the second piece, you want to come down about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and go ahead and tie it again. You're tying all of the ribbon together down about an inch. So that's what it should look like. You have one tied at the top. This is what you're going to use to attach it to your garland. And then you have one down anywhere from, say, 1/2 inch to an inch and tie. Then you're going to take your little red heart and you're going to glue it right at the top there, just like that. So go ahead and put your hot glue onto your jute cord there. And then you have all these pretty ribbons hanging down from your pretty little heart. You will need to make 6 of these. I have all my ribbons and my hearts done. The only other thing I did on my ribbons is here on the ends. I did cut them at an angle. That's up to you if you want to cut them dovetail, angle, or leave them straight. But I think that looks so cute. And now we're going to put everything together. So you'll need some jute cord. I went ahead and tied a loop at one end so I can hook it. And then I'm just going to tie on all of my little adornments here. I'm going to start with ribbon. And then I'm going to do a heart. And then another ribbon and heart. And then at the end, I will end with a ribbon. Now I'm going to tie these on tight enough so that they hold, but not so tight that I can't slide them. That way it'll make it much easier when I go to store it. I can just slide them all together, wrap the twine, and put it away. I have all my ribbon and my hearts attached, and I did one ribbon, one heart, and then another ribbon. And they all slide back and forth on the jute cord. Now I haven't cut the other end. Once I go downstairs and I measure how long I need it, I will cut it then and tie another loop at the other end so that I can hang it. Then once I get it up, I can slide my items so that they're evenly distributed. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Valentine's Day garland craft. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's 3 Valentine's Day DIYs. Make sure to check the description box below for a detailed list of all the tools and materials I used to make each of the projects. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and strong. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time.